All right, so welcome to your class today. Today we are going to start seated. We'll settle into our practice. We have a pranayama breathing exercise from a seated position today. Then we have a short sequence. We'll stay seated. If you want to adjust your position at that point, you can feel free to do so. Then we have a kneeling sequence and a standing up sequence. If there's anything that's feeling a bit uncomfortable in your body today or anything you need to be a little bit careful of, just be mindful as you go through your practice to always give variations. And you always have the option also of not doing what I suggest. That's always okay. So start sitting comfortably, hands resting on your legs or in your lap. You can gently close down your eyes or lower your gaze. And then start by taking a deep breath in through your nose, a long sigh out through your mouth. And then begin just to notice your breath. You don't need to change it in any way. Start by just noticing your breath. And also, you're giving yourself this hour. So for the next hour, there's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to think about or solve or fix. The worries, the concerns, you can set them aside for now. Feel like you're taking that bag off your shoulders. And just for the next hour, you don't need to carry that bag through the practice with you. Now start to deepen your breath. Begin to shape your breath, slowly deepening your inhalation, lengthening your exhalation. And as you deepen your breath, have the feeling of the belly expanding, the rib cage expanding, upper chest lifting. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the upper chest, contracting rib cage, contracting belly. Breathing in a way that you feel you're smoothing out your breath, evening out your breath. Doesn't need to be the deepest or the longest, but maybe it's a little deeper and longer than it was. Keeping everything feeling quite effortless. Smooth, continuous inhalation. Smooth, continuous exhalation. And we're using our mind to shape the breath, but in turn, the breath begins to shape the mind. Allowing the body, the mind to relax, to settle a little. If your mind feels busy with the stuff of the day, of what's happening around you, and each time you feel yourself getting involved in the thinking, gently guide your awareness back to just being with your breath. Now we're going to add a retention at the top of the inhalation. So again, your inhalation will begin expanding the belly, expanding the rib cage, lifting the upper chest, and then pause. Hold your breath, retain the breath. Only for as long as it feels comfortable. The minute it starts to feel uncomfortable, begin your exhalation again, releasing from the upper chest, rib cage, and belly. End of the exhalation, you can also pause. It mightn't be as long. And then begin the inhalation again. Feel the stillness in that retention of the breath, the top of the inhalation, bottom of the exhalation. And do one more like this. And when you're ready for an inhalation again, then come back into this comfortable pace, rhythm of breath. Feel your connection with your breath, and you're going to keep that connection with your breath throughout the practice. From here, we're going to start with a seated practice. Now, if you want to change the cross of your leg, or if you prefer to sit in a chair at this point, or sit up on a cushion, please feel free to do so. We are going to start resting the left hand on the ground beside you. And then relax your left ear towards your left shoulder. This is starting with a neck release. Reach your right hand diagonally away from your body down towards the ground. Now, you're not trying to pull the ear towards the shoulder, letting gravity do the work. And see if you can take your right shoulder away from your ear. Now, it could very well be that a little adjustment of your chin, moving your chin about a bit, you might find a nice spot to stay with. And when you're happy with the position you're in, then again, connecting with your breath and being very present with whatever sensation you are feeling right now, around the neck, the shoulders. Now let your chin drop towards your left armpit. And then press your left hand into the ground so your body comes upright, and let your chin drop down towards the center of your chest. And from here, take both hands to your brow and lift your head back up again. Do the same thing on the other side. Rest your right hand on the ground. So there's a slight side bend to the right. Relax your right ear towards your right shoulder. Then reach your left hand diagonally away from your body. Left shoulder away from your ear. Again, this may feel quite different on this side, so little adjustments of your chin might find a place that kind of feels good to hold. Be present with the sensation. Now dropping the chin towards your right armpit. Press your hand into the ground so you lift your body upright, and then let your chin drop down towards the center of your chest. Hands again coming to your brow, and lift your head back up again. Interlace your fingers, take it to the back of your head, and lightly press the back of your head into your hands. Not pressing too hard. And then release. Take the heels of your hands to your brow, lightly press your brow into your hands. And relax. Now make a fist with your hands. Put the fists under your chin. Now you're going to press the chin down into your fist, the fist up into your chin, and at the same time press the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then relax. Just make little movements with your head. Just feel how the head is feeling on your shoulders. Now rest your right hand on the ground beside you again. This time, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take a side bend to the right. From here, breathe into the left side of your ribcage. Have this feeling of that part of the ribcage expanding outwards. Inhale lifts you back up again. As you exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Again, reach the right hand high and then up and over, side bend to the left. This time breathing into the left side, the right side of your rib cage. And on your inhale, lifting up again, reaching both hands up to the ceiling. Exhaling with the palms facing outwards, slowly coming down, interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest, slightly lift your chin. And then as you exhale, release. You can rest your left hand on your leg, right hand out to the side. So releasing a little bit the muscle at the side of the chest. Let the back of the hand move slightly back. That's okay if the hand is a bit further down or up. You can make the adjustments. As you exhale, sweep the arm all the way across your body. Now, if it's anything like me, when I do this, the shoulder climbs up. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, lift the shoulder up even more. Exhale, let the shoulder come down. Nice. From here, bend your right elbow, slide the left elbow underneath. Now, hands can rest on the shoulders, V shape. You can bring fingers together or even palms together. So anywhere along here is okay. See if you can let the shoulders again release downwards. On your inhale, slightly lift your elbows. And on your exhale, let the elbows come down towards your lap. Releasing the hands, take your right hand towards your left knee. Left hand comes out from underneath and comes to the ground behind you. Coming into spinal twist to the left. Inhale, sit up tall, and as you exhale, twist the spine to the left. Just notice if you feel that your chin, your face is jutting forward. Can you take the back of your head slightly back, keeping length through the back of the neck? On your exhalation, release from the twist. From here, reaching the left hand out to the side, and then let the back of the hand move slightly towards the back of your room. Just exploring sensation around the side of the left side of your chest. So you can explore taking the hand higher, lower. And on an exhalation, sweep the arm across your body. Going to do the same thing again. So that left shoulder, take a breath in, lift it up higher. And as you exhale, let the shoulder come down. Bend the left elbow, slide your right elbow underneath. And then again, you're finding a comfortable place in this general range, whether it's shoulders, V shape, or fingers, palms coming together. Again, see if you can guide the shoulders to release downwards. Inhale, slightly lift the elbows. And exhale, slightly lower the elbows. Feeling where sensation moves to, if at all, around the shoulders. Release the arms, let your left hand come to the right knee, slide the right hand out to the ground behind you. Inhale, sit as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, guiding the mid part of the spine into a twist. You can look to the right or you can look behind you. It's your choice. All the time staying with this steady breath. Smooth, continuous, even breath. On your exhalation, release from the twist. From here, bring the knees together, the feet together. You can take your hands behind you, press your hands into the ground so you can sit up tall. And then slowly let the knees open to the side, bring the soles of the feet together. For a moment, keep your hands behind you so you can press down and have that feeling of lengthening through the spine, long back of the neck. You can bring your chin a little lower towards your chest. The knees have the feeling of reaching outwards rather than just thinking knees have to touch the ground. No, they don't. Think of the knees lengthening outwards. Now you can stay with the hands behind you, or you can take your hands to your ankles. And if the hands are on the ankles, try to keep that feeling of length and the feeling of the collarbones trying to move away from each other. So you're broadening the top of your chest. Hands coming outside the knees, bring the knees back together again. Hands back behind you, this time feet and knees a little wider. Take a deep breath in, this is the position of the legs. As you exhale, take both legs down to the right side. Your inhale lifts back up to center, and your exhale, the legs will come down to the left. Just easing into the hips, inhale, lifting the knees up, exhale, they come to the right. Your inhale lifts them up. And as you're ready to exhale, take the legs to the left. Coming back up again. And from here, we'll transition into tabletop position. If the wrists can sometimes feel a little tight, you can take some circles with the wrists in one direction and the other direction, squeezing and releasing the fingers. And then your tabletop position is wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. So when you're ready, on your inhalation, tilting your pelvis, let the tummy reach down towards the ground. Pull the chest slightly forward and lift your chin. And your exhalation is tucking the tailbone under, rounding your back, chin towards the chest. We'll do this another 2 times. So inhaling to arch the back. You're moving with the whole length of the exhalation to round the back. Last time, you're really in control of the movement here. And exhaling, rounding your back. Coming back up to your tabletop position. We're working with the same movement in the spine, but this time also lifting the right foot up. So on your inhalation, tilt your pelvis, the tummy reaches down. Right foot, the sole of the foot lifting up towards the ceiling. Have the feeling of your chest reaching forward and you're looking forward. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths so you can feel the shape in your body. Feel how it feels when you try to have the upper chest reaching forward slightly. Yeah. Now on your next exhalation, slowly rounding the back and slowly bringing your right knee towards your nose. Next inhalation, back to lifting the foot up, tummy reaching down to the ground. Exhaling to round the back, knee towards the nose. Last time, inhale to reach the foot towards the ceiling, tummy reaches down, stay here. Now you have an option of either keeping both hands on the ground or taking left hand and with the thumb down, reaching it back towards your right foot. Now you can hold the foot or you can just have them near each other. Both will be doing something slightly different. Next exhalation, hand comes down and knee comes back down again. Take your right arm across the mat. So you're resting the forearm on the mat. Then you'll rest your forehead on that arm. The left arm is going to walk as far as possible forward you can. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax that left elbow down to the mat. So this is something that you may feel around the left armpit, around the muscle under the armpit, around the shoulder. Feel free to Adjust the position, little micro adjustments. It might be walking the hand further forward, so it creates a more intense sensation, or it may be easing back slightly. To come out of the posture, press your right arm into the mat, lifting gently out, lifting the left arm back up again, back to tabletop position. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. So on your inhalation, tilt the pelvis, tummy dips down, left foot reaches up towards the ceiling. Couple of extra breaths here, so you can feel the posture on this side in your body. Foot reaching up, have the feeling of the upper chest reaching forward. Maybe sensation around the muscles in the glutes, the hamstrings. See if you can maintain your smooth, even, continuous breath. Next exhalation, rounding your back, left knee comes towards your nose. Again, inhaling, lifting foot up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, slowly rounding the back, knee towards the nose. One more, inhale to lift the foot back up towards the ceiling. Staying here again, and optional extra of taking the right hand, reaching right hand towards left foot. And then as you exhale, hand and knee back to the mat. This time we're taking the, what are we doing? The left hand across the mat, forearm to the mat, forehead resting on your arm. And walk your right hand, walk the fingers as far forward as you can. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop that right elbow down towards the ground. The hips stay stacked over the knees. And again, you're working with your breath and being very present with the sensations in the body. So in these postures where we stay and we breathe, it's not a passive holding, it's an active holding. We're responding constantly to what is going on physically, whether we need to adjust, ease off, go a little further, in constant communication with our bodies. And press your left forearm a bit more firmly into the ground, lift the body back up again. From here, pressing the ground away from you on your inhalation, have the feeling like you're trying to lift your belly and your chest away from the ground, push the floor down. And as you next exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Now take time here to settle into the posture. You can pedal out the feet. Feel today if it feels nicer to take your feet a little wider in this posture. You can play around with the tilt of your pelvis, just like we did when we were doing that cat-cow movement, where you're tilting your pelvis one way, tilting the pelvis the other way. You can even sway the hips from side to side. And then find a place to be in the posture where you can bring stillness into the pose. So staying as you are in your downward facing dog. And now focusing on your breath and what you feel in the posture as you hold this. On your next inhalation, let the knees come back down to the mat. And then as you exhale, send your hips back towards your heels, arms reaching forward, head down and relax. So Balasana, child's pose, as you hold this position, as you inhale, have the feeling of the back of the body expanding up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, that feeling of the front of the body releasing down towards the ground. And then when you're ready, coming back up to tabletop position and come and stand up. We're coming into our sun salutations. The sun salutations will have most parts that are similar, but the back bending part will vary as we do each time. So we've got 4 sun salutations we're going to do, and each time we'll have a different variation on the back bending part. As always though, depending on how you feel today, if there's one particular variation that we do and you think, oh, that's kind of nice today, and you want to do it every time, that is also okay. So coming to the top of your mat, feet can be hip distance apart. Inhaling to reach the hands to the ceiling. Exhale to fold forward, hands coming down towards the ground. We're adding a little Malasana Squat here. Now you may wish to take your feet a little wider and turn the toes out a bit. On your inhale, send your hips down. Coming into this quarter Malasana, you could take the hips lower, or the hips could come all the way down towards the ground. Arms reach forward. Next exhalation, hands dangle back down towards the ground, lift your hips up. On your inhale, slip your right foot back, right knee comes down, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the muscles in the glutes. Try to take the tailbone slightly down, lower belly slightly lifts. Your exhale takes you to tabletop position. Inhaling, tilting the pelvis, tummy down and look forward. Exhale, back to tabletop position, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. See if you can have the feeling of pressing the floor away from you and the tailbone lifting up towards the ceiling. Knees coming back down to the mat again. On your inhale, step the right foot forward. Keep the left hand on the ground. Reach your right hand to the ceiling. Spinal twist in this lunge. Exhaling, hand comes down to the ground. Left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come back up to standing. Let's keep going. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe taking the feet a bit wider for Malasana, for our squat. Inhale, send the hips down, arms reaching forward. Try not to have the knees falling in towards each other. See if you can keep the knees open. And then on your exhalation, hands dangling back down towards the ground, hips lifting up. Next inhale, left leg steps back, left knee down, arms lift. We're taking extra breaths here so that you can make sure you're letting the muscles be active around your hips. So the glutes are squeezing tight, lower belly down, tailbone down, lower belly lifts, pressing the foot and the shin into the ground. This time on your exhalation, hands coming down to the mat, you're stepping back into plank. Now there's lots of possibilities for your plank. We can have both knees off the ground. We can have one knee on the ground. We can have both knees on the ground. Whichever version you're in, see if you can keep trying to push the floor away from you and have the feeling that your chest and belly are trying to lift up towards your spine. Drop the knees to the mat if they're lifted, and on your exhalation, lower down to the ground. Slide your hands forward. Elbows under shoulders, coming into a supported Cobra, pressing the hands into the mat. Inhaling, lifting out from between your shoulder blades. Now, if this feels quite intense on the spine, take the elbows further forward or further out to the side. Just as we did when we were in that kneeling position, see if you can press the fingertips into the ground and try to pull your upper chest slightly further forward. Next exhalation lowers you to the mat, hands coming behind your shoulders. Inhale, lifting to tabletop position. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Knees coming back to the mat again. Next, inhale, stepping your left foot forward. Right hand stays down, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Exhaling, hands down, step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale, hands down. 2 more. Hands down beside the body. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. This is the 3rd time we're doing Malasana. You might take a different version this time, maybe not. Your inhale is sending the hips down, reaching the arms forward. I have an injured knee, so I'm not going lower than this, but you may wish to send the hips further down. Next exhalation, folding forward again, hips lifted up. Inhale, step your right foot back. This time we'll keep the knee lifted. Pressing down to the floor, lifting the arms up to the ceiling. Now you could do that by pressing into your thigh to lift your body and then lifting your arms. And on your exhalation, hands coming down to the mat, stepping back into whichever version of plank you would like today. 1, both, or no knees on the ground. Most important is that we're keeping the core strong, so not letting the hips hang down, lifting the belly towards the spine. Next exhalation, knees to the mat, lower down to the ground. Take your hands slightly in front of your shoulders, lightly pressing into the ground. Inhale to lift your upper chest off the mat. Try to avoid lifting the shoulders to the ears, so relax the shoulders down. The muscles in your back doing the work here. You could technically lift your hands off the ground. Next exhalation, lowering down, hands back behind the shoulders, tuck your toes. Give you a little extra option. On your inhale, either lifting to tabletop position or lifting up into plank. It's entirely up to you which one you would like to do, but your exhalation is taking you to downward facing dog. Take your knees back down to the mat again. Inhale to step the right foot forward. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up to the ceiling. This time you can have another little option of tucking the left toes under, straightening the left leg. And to do that, it's totally okay to lift the hip a bit higher. Exhaling, hand to the mat, step your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way back up to standing. Let's keep going. Exhale, fold forward. Last Malasana. Inhale, send your hips down, arms reaching forward. Try to keep the knees open. And your next exhale. So when you're ready to exhale, coming back into forward fold. Inhale to step the left leg back. Feel your balance, maybe coming up via the leg, or maybe the arms reach all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhaling, hands to the mat, step back into your plank, whatever that is today. Extra inhale to press away from the floor. Then exhaling, knees to the mat, lower down. This time, arms alongside the body, palms facing down, so arms reaching beside your body. Your inhale lifts your chest, the arms and the legs. Try to keep your legs stretched at the back so that you're letting the muscles in the hamstrings and the glutes engage. Your exhalation lowers you back down, hands behind the shoulders. Again, you have the choice, inhaling into tabletop or into plank, it's your choice. But your exhalation will be downward facing dog. Knees coming back to the mat again. Inhaling to step your left foot forward. Right hand presses down, left hand reaches to the ceiling. And you have the option of tucking the toes of the right foot, lifting your right knee, straightening the right leg. Exhaling, hands coming back down again. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come back up to standing. And exhaling, hands down. Good. So we've done a bit of work to prepare the back of our body, making the muscles know where they are. So it makes sense that we make use of all of this preparation. And we're going to come into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 position. It's a balancing pose. I repeat myself quite a lot in classes, so I will say it again. For me, balancing poses is more about the good that it's doing in the body rather than whether or not we are holding a support or not. So if you know you'll feel a bit better doing the posture with a bit of support, then have the support nearby. It can be a wall, you can have your hands on a chair, and you can be one or no hands. If you have a stool nearby, you can be resting the hands on the stool. Please never think that a balance has to be without any support. So there is a bit of balancing in this, but I'll give you a couple of other options as we go along as well. So start with the feet together, palms in front of your chest, palms together. A balance starts on 2 feet. Always sounds really silly when I say that, but a balance starts on 2 feet, and then you take the weight into the foot you're going to be supporting your body on. So feel the weight in both feet, and then take the weight into your left foot. As you inhale, without moving, shifting the pelvis, lift your right knee up towards your chest. Feel that the left glutes are starting to engage. Maybe there's a little tightening of the muscles around your left sit bones. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, send that right foot back and reach your chest forward. The chest only goes forward as much as the foot lifts at the back. So we won't have the body really far forward. If the foot is only lifted a little bit, the chest only goes forward a little bit. If the foot lifts a lot, the chest will go forward a bit more. Steady breath, have the feeling of chest reaching forward as much as the foot is reaching back. Take a little bend into your left knee and then put the right foot on the floor. The whole of the foot flat to the mat, toes slightly turned out. Just notice if you need to take your left foot a little bit further to the side so the legs are not crossed. Again, we're squeezing muscles around the sit bones. Tailbone draws down, lower belly lifts up. In fact, lower belly and lower rib cage are trying to reach towards each other. Inhale, reach your hands to the ceiling. On your exhalation, straightening the left leg, hands coming to your waist. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And then feeling the tilt of the pelvis, exhaling, folding forward, trying to keep the length in the spine. Try not to round the back. So keep the chest reaching forward. How far you go is entirely up to you. You're just exploring sensation down the backs of the legs. On your inhalation, coming back up again. Exhale, bend your left knee. We're coming back into Virabhadrasana 3, that balancing pose, but we're going to add in some arms. So bending your elbows, take the left elbow on top of the right, hands together. See if you can reach the elbows and the forearms forward. And then taking your body forward, feel more weight coming into the left foot. Lift your right heel. Take that weight into your left foot. And if you're ready, you can lift the foot, straighten the left leg, but it's also totally okay to have that right foot resting on the ground. You can play around with your balance. Steady breath. On your next inhalation, bring your body upright. Take your right knee up towards your chest. Exhale, bend your left knee and then cross your right leg over your left. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Now, in this position as well, you can have those right toes resting on the ground. Bit of extra support. or you can lift the foot off the ground. That's up to you. Wherever you are, you're squeezing the arms together, squeezing the thighs together. See if you can squeeze the muscles around your sit bones. Send your hips down and back. Steady breath. On your inhalation, coming back up again, and exhale, unknot everything. Do the same thing on the other side. You can give the legs a little shake out. Probably there feels a difference, one side versus the other feels a bit different. This left leg has had to do all the stabilizing while the right leg got to swan about, and now we have to balance it on the other side. So bring the feet together, feel the weight in both feet, palms together. Sway the weight into your right foot. And then on an inhalation, lift the left knee up. Notice how the stabilizing now starts taking place in that right leg. So you start squeezing muscles around your right sit bones. Deep breath in, and then exhaling, left foot reaches back, chest reaches forward. Take a little bend into your right knee and then place the left foot onto the mat, coming into Virabhadrasana, Warrior One. Inhaling, arms reaching up to the ceiling. So when we're in these standing poses, we don't want to just hang out with all the muscles completely soft and relaxed. We want them to be strengthening while they are lengthening. See if you can lift lower belly, lower the lower rib cage, yeah, but without letting any compromising go into the knee, so pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. All the time, steady breath and just feeling what you feel in this posture. Next exhalation straightens the right leg, hands to the waist. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, tilting from the pelvis, so the forward fold over the right leg. The experience on this side may be different to the other side. Inhaling, coming back up again. And then exhale, bend your right knee, hands come in front. Take the right elbow over the left. Elbows, forearms slightly away from your body. Deep breath in, and then exhaling, body comes forward. Lift the left heel. Start to take the weight into the right foot. The balance is hit there, and you're happy to. You can lift the left leg, straighten the right. I very conveniently come very close to my wall, so I can use it for support. Equally, you can keep that left foot on the ground. Next inhalation, lift the left knee up towards your chest. And then bending the right knee, cross the left leg over the right, coming into full Garudasana, eagle pose. Now you can have those toes on the ground or twirled around the standing leg, but you're squeezing your inner thighs together. That's the kind of the action in this posture. Then send your hips down and back. On your inhale, coming whoop, back up again. Exhale, release, relax everything. All right, coming back to the top of the mat. Feet can be hip distance apart. Inhale to reach the hands up to the ceiling. And exhale to fold forward. Hands to your shins or thighs. Inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale to fold. I think I said at the beginning that we were finished with Malasana, but there's one more to go. You can take your feet a bit wider, turn the toes out. Inhale to send the hips down and back, arms reaching forward. Maybe the experience is different this time. Now, if your hips are really low to the ground, you could take your hands to the ground and come and sit down. Mine are very far from the ground, so I'm going to put my hands to the mat, bring myself into tabletop position, and then come and sit down on the ground. We're going to meet up sitting on the floor. From here, take your hands behind you, resting on the ground. Now, in this posture, you're totally in control as to where you go with this. The hands can be close, the feet can be close, the hands can be far away, the feet can be far away. It's your choice. But we're going to take the outside right ankle across the left knee. Right knee opens to the side. So take a couple of breaths just to feel how this feels. And then you can decide if you want to adjust the position, create more intensity, create less intensity. Depending on how it's feeling for you, you have also options of putting the hand through the gap, resting the hands around the knees, sitting up tall. And then from here, take the hands back behind you again. I'm going to give you a couple of options for our next posture, how we get into the next one. Either this leg is going to slide forward, the foot will plant on the ground, knee pointing up, or you're going to take the outside of the left leg and the sole of the right foot down to the ground. This hip will be lifted up and then you'll plant it down to the mat. So you're either sitting in this way, this foot can come further, close to your body, or you're doing similar with the legs stretched. So you choose the version that feels okay for you. Left arm wraps around the right knee. Right hand comes behind. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, twist to the right. On your exhalation, release from the twist. If you did take this version of the foot like this, you can lift back up again. If we're here, you can just bring your feet back together. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Taking the outside of left ankle across the right knee, left knee opens to the side. And again, choose the intensity. You're in control here. Wherever you are, try to inhale and lengthen through the spine, the collarbones slightly separating, a little bit of squeezing of the shoulder blades together. Options of taking left hand through the gap and around your knee. And then hands coming back behind again. Either you're sliding right leg forward, placing the left foot outside that leg, or dropping everything over to the side and then planting the left hip down. So whichever version you've gone for, we're coming into spinal twist, right arm around the left knee, left hand behind. Inhaling, sitting up tall, exhaling, twisting to the left. And on your exhalation, release. Can lift out like this, or basically in any way that brings you back to here. Our final posture today is an upside down version of that Malasana, that squat that we did. So it's a version on our backs. I'll give you a couple of options here. So you'll be lying on your back. We're actually going to stay here for a few breaths before we come into it, but I'll just show you what you're doing. We're going to start by taking the knees to the chest. Then the knees separate, the feet separate. The soles of the foot look up towards the ceiling. And you're holding the outside of the legs outside of the foot and letting the knees release down towards your armpits. So you can imagine this is like an upside down version of what we did when we were doing our sun salutations. But first of all, come and lie flat on your back. Feet are flat on the ground, knees are bent. Rest your hands on your belly. And with your spine in this neutral position, begin to breathe deeply into your belly. Track the inhalation and the exhalation. And you can even close down your eyes and start to bring your awareness even more inwards. And then from here, bring your knees in towards your chest. Hold around your knees, gently rock from side to side, using the floor to massage your back. And then from here, coming into our is called Ananda Balasana, which is happy baby or blissful baby. Separate the knees, separate the feet, and then let the knees drop down in the direction of your armpits, the soles of the feet towards the ceiling, holding outside the legs, outside the feet. And again, focusing on your breath, focusing on sensation in the body. And just feeling how this feels for you. Bear in mind, this is your last asana before we come into our relaxation. So if this is a super uncomfortable position for you to be in, then please don't be in it. You can come out and come straight into Shavasana. So now if you are still in the posture, gently ease out of it, bring the feet back to the mat. And then coming into the position you'd like to take for final relaxation. That could be putting a cushion under your head. The legs could be stretched out or the knees could be bent. Arms out beside you. You're in your space. You can take up as much space as you want. As you feel your body settle into a comfortable position, still keep your awareness on your breath. Still that smooth, even inhalation and exhalation. And now the next time you exhale, release the controlling of the breath, release the shaping of the breath. That flick of the switch from controlling your breath to letting your breath be completely natural and spontaneous in your body. Release any holding in your body. If there's any muscles you're holding tight, feel them release and relax. And oftentimes that can be muscles under the eyes or the jaw that's clenching, or the tummy muscles still held tight, or maybe the shoulders. Let the arms, the legs, the whole body feel heavy, comfortable, and relaxed. And your mind doesn't need to be trying to understand what I'm asking you to do anymore. The mind doesn't need to be busy moving the body. So now the mind can also completely relax. And for these last couple of minutes, give yourself this time to not do anything. Give yourself this time to completely relax. Also without in your mind thinking, I could be doing this and I should be doing that. No, it's okay. This last 2 minutes, it's okay to completely relax. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Relax. And now slowly, slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin to move your fingers, move your toes. With each breath, feel your body become more awake and your mind becoming more alert. You can stretch your body or hug your knees to your chest. And when you're ready, roll over onto your side and come and sit up again. And we'll finish our class today with hands together in front of our chest. Take a deep breath in. Gentle sigh out. And just take a moment to notice how you feel right now. And send some nice words to yourself to acknowledge this time that you gave yourself today. And the fact you made time for this practice for you. And from me to you, thank you so much for being here. Have a very wonderful rest of your day today. Thank you so much.